I was in debt, going to have to leave LA. I was taking pictures of everything I had, trying to sell it. I was literally about to sell my car. Like, it was horrible. And this was because I was without a job during COVID for about 6 months. I had no income. Fast forward to today, I make like over 6 figures doing content creation, and I was never someone who wanted to be a content creator or influencer. Like, that was never the goal. But when I found this opportunity, I was like, I have to do this, and it now has completely changed my life, and I'm happier than ever. It was spring of last year, spring of 2022, and I was so desperate. I called a friend who I knew a lot in the space of just like online marketing, and I asked him what was going on, what he was doing, if he had any recommendations, and he told me about UGC. And at this point, it was just like kind of run off Twitter. Like, people weren't posting much on TikTok about it. And so I created a Twitter account and got on Upwork, and that's how I got my first few deals. Mind you, these deals were like $70 a video, and I didn't know anything about usage rights, so I was just like giving them full ownership basically. Also, this was a point where people didn't have like website portfolios. Like, the Canva portfolio wasn't really a thing. People had Google Drives where they would have just a collection of their videos and send that drive link to a brand to see their work. So I was getting some deals on Twitter, and I started to have brands ask me if I could send them some TikTok accounts that I managed, and I didn't have any. So I basically was like, okay, I need to like build a personal brand to help me get better deals. And so that's when I started this TikTok account. Since the job title of like UGC was kind of like this new thing, people weren't like teaching it the way they are now. So I really just studied influencers and the way that influencing works with contracts, because I knew it had to be similar. The only difference was like the creators weren't posting the content, so they didn't need to have an audience. So I learned everything there is to know about usage and contracts and all of those terms that can be really overwhelming. I have to admit, it was super easy for me to hop on a call and kind of speak the language of marketing with a brand, because my background is in paid media. So I used to be behind the computer running paid ads with like budgets of like, I don't know, like $200,000. We're generating revenues of like $2 million a year. So like, I had a good idea of advertising. I also went to school for marketing, so I did have a leg up that I could kind of speak the language and sell the brands on hiring me. I also had hired UGC creators before using Billo. We just didn't call them UGC creators, we just said content creators. I didn't have a plan with this TikTok account, but naturally it did start attracting brands, and I was getting tons of questions from other creators, so it became an educational platform. I was sharing my wins and successes, like trying to teach everyone everything I knew, and it just became so much that people were like asking if I had a course, and so obviously the demand was there, so I created one. Now, this was just my experience, but in my first month I made $2,800. In my second month I made $9,640. In November, I landed my first huge deal. It was a $10,000 deal, which quickly turned into a $13,000 deal, and they still work with me, pay me monthly for usage, and buy smaller packages from me like every few months. So I basically took my years of school, my actual experience being on the brand side, and then my experience as a creator, and created my like 8-hour plus course, which I continue to add bonus lessons to whenever they are necessary. But my favorite part is really the group aspect, where my team posts UGC opportunities that are exclusive to the group every week, and it's so cool to see the students get them, and also seeing students share their success is wild. One of our students just posted that she is having her first $15,000 month in the month of September, and she just started all of this in January. There's nearly 1,000 of you guys, and I love when you email me like your questions so that I can personally help you one-on-one. It's just an amazing, I don't know, I feel so grateful. I was one of those students in college who never knew what I wanted to do, so I just went with like a basic major, which was marketing, and all I knew is I wanted to help people, and I feel like I was finally able to find that through teaching other creators how to make money and kind of live life on their own terms. So to everyone that's trusted me with your journey, I genuinely have so much love and appreciation for you. So then earlier this year, I really wanted to play around with content and TikTok strategy because I love TikTok. And so I created a beauty page, and at first it was like fine, it didn't do that well, but then I had one video pop off, and it was a hair video, and that's really what I wanted to focus on. And from that, I started to see an extreme amount of inbounds and also PR and also brand deals, which was really cool to see. I now find it so fun to share that journey with you guys as well, and to help people that do want to also do micro-influencing, because I think UGC is the perfect start to learning the foundation of content creation, and then you can move into micro-influencing and kind of like double up your income. I truly believe everything happens for a reason, and I went through the darkest time in my life to basically overcome that and then create the most beautiful life that I never even knew I wanted. So if you have any gut feeling of like, I feel like that sounds like something I want to do, or you want to start content creation, I urge you to just go for it, because I feel like with a lot of people, it ends up being even better than they could have imagined. And this is like the most cliche thing ever, but I always remind myself, like, I only live once. I only get this day once. I only get to be 28 for 365 days, and then it's over. Like, I need to make the most of it. I also had to learn to stop living for other people and to stop caring what other people think, and genuinely live for myself. And once you do that, you will become the happiest version of you. It's literally freeing to start just doing what you are called to do without care of what other people are gonna think about it. Like, it really doesn't matter. We're on a floating rock. I now am going to shoot 2 UGC videos. I share tons of free tips on my page. I also have a free UGC checklist in my link in bio if you want to just see what it's all about and see what it looks like to start. And my last words are, no dream is too big, so literally just go for it.